Hey guys, Joshua Suarez here with Edge Realty, and we're here with another episode of an Edge Realty podcast. And today's guest, I've been wanting to get him on here for a while. He's a busy man, but we finally did it, and we got our schedules aligned. Please allow me to introduce, or actually reintroduce, Mr. Jesse Jeffers.
Hey guys, how's it going? Excited to be here today and answer a few questions on the spot, and maybe you can get to know me a little bit better.
Awesome, dude. Well, dude, thank you so much for being here, man. Appreciate you. I know you're always on the run. You're always on the go, and we wanted to get you on here for a long time, but we're finally here. Dude, just kind of give me a little synopsis of like how's this year been treating you?
Yeah, so the year's been great. Last year was fantastic, and then the start of this year, as a roller, you have your highs and then you'll kind of stop maybe lead prospecting, stop working as hard, and then you're like, oh crap, I got to work harder to get my business back and rolling. But this year, like I'd say the first 2 months were kind of slow, but then it really kicked it into gear. Even with the rate changes in the market, people are we may have saw a slight slowdown, but I've seen more business in the past few weeks than anything else.
Good deal.
But it's been great. Looking forward for another great year.
Heck yeah, absolutely, man. And of course, you're one of the top producing agents, if not the top producing agent over at the Cabot office right now. And I mean, you're even with the whole entire firm, you've been like at the top of the ranks since you've been here.
Yes,
since pretty much you came in, man. And I'm talking about like how old were you when you first came into real estate? I
was 20, so
20 years old.
Couldn't drink a beer, nor could I even have my own house at the time. And I was, help facilitating some people's, 90% of people's biggest purchase of their life.
That's amazing, dude.
And it's been a blessing so far.
I will say this, if I had half the amount of drive and determination that you had when I was 20, I promise you, it'd probably be a millionaire by now.
Wouldn't be sitting here with you.
Probably wouldn't be sitting here, but I'd say, but even though I love what I do, don't get that wrong. But
sit on the beach. Yeah,
exactly. But all right, so kind of give us a little bit of backstory of how you got into real estate. Because I know we know you're from like the Cabot area, and you're kind of born and raised here, if I'm not mistaken.
Pretty much.
Like
6, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you grew up here. You know a lot of people here. This is kind of home. And how did you get into real estate? What made you want to do it?
Yeah, so it was just a weird, series of events. I joined the Air National Guard in my senior year of high school. I wanted to go to a 4-year university, and I wanted to, have it fully paid for. I wanted to get, security clearances because I had different aspirations in life. I was wanting to go work for certain agencies, then I was like, you know what? I'm going to get my degree and go into a sales job. But after I went through about 2 years of, from boot camp to the end of all my qualification trainings and working full-time shift work up in Fort Smith, love the job, love everything that I do up there, love the mission, but just shift work was not for me. And I was like, I'm burnt out with school, with, reading, with whatever it is. I've just been doing that for 2 years straight, pretty strenuous. And I was like, I'm going to sales, and talked to actually Dylan Shoemate, and his mom was the broker at Cabot, and went and talked to them, spoke with a few different brokerages, and said, you know what, I moved back home from Fort Smith and took my course and just kind of winged it. So that's how I kind of had my entry into real estate. There was a lot of, a little bit of apprehension. It's a lot of unknown. Commission-based, this. But I had a savings, good support structure. Lived back at my mom's house. Shout out to her. So I didn't have too many crazy bills, but it gave me time to 100%, jump off into the deep end and make it work, sink or swim.
Most definitely.
And that's how that started. And I just kind of, figured it out along the way. So had some great mentors and people around here helping me out. So
good deal, man. So so how going? And I don't mean to keep like prying on this, but because of the fact of your age, you know what I mean. But it's a big deal because as far as like me myself, I know I was not anywhere as far as the mindset that you have right now. When I was your age, I was definitely out there partying. I was doing what college kids do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but I kind of want to get into that question of like, how is it that your lifestyle? What do you think about your lifestyle compared to others your age, especially, and not even just in a real estate standpoint, but just as a professional?
Yeah, so it is kind of strange. I've always seen myself a little maturity level. I always say I'm a 30-year-old in a 20-year-old's body, so
your old spirit, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to have that college life, go party, this and that. But really just my goals and my, like you said, my drive. I saw what I could do now, and instead of waiting and just partying and this and that, I just started working, and I actually had so much more fun doing that because instead of being tied down or not having the funds to do certain things, now I'm traveling, just booked trips to Germany for the end of the year, and I work for myself and I have a business.
You're a Renaissance man. That's
what I'm talking about. And not like a bragging thing, but it's just I saw the opportunity of you can have fun and work at the same time.
Right.
And a lot of people think you got to go to college. You have to have your fun times because when you go into the corporate 9-to-5 world, it's just your life ends,
Yeah.
But I think I would arguably say I have a lot more fun than I did, But my day to day, I run a very successful real estate business, and it's just like a real estate practice. We're not just agents. You run a practice. It's a business where you provide a service. So, most most young adults, I guess my age, some do work 9-to-5s. They're out of college right now. They are living their day to day. But if you go look back, let's say 2-3 years while they're in college, if you're working up early in the mornings and just doing my work, it's a lot different, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, finding that at your age is almost like a diamond in the rough. I'll be honest with you, man, because it's not that many people. One, obviously, you have to have determination. It's mindset, number one. Number two is capitalizing, like you said, on the opportunity when it comes. You know what I mean? Because there's been opportunities for many people out there, and then what's the worst thing that could happen to somebody is have regret about not having that or taking that opportunity. Yeah, and those are some things that I know I've got some regrets of like taking certain opportunities that came along my way, and I didn't capitalize on them. But good for you on seeing the opportunity and seeing the possibility where you can take it and just running with it. You know what I mean?
And I'm not trying to say, I made a better choice or worse choice. A lot of people are coming to me and say, hey, Jesse, how do I get in real estate? And I think that's awesome seeing other people my age, seeing my success. And there's a lot of other successful people my age too that I hang out with as well. But everybody makes different choices and everybody has different callings in their life. So I think it was just a series of fortunate events, I guess, of how I kind of came here. And my life is a lot different on my day to day. Compared me to another 22-year-old, it's a lot different. Yeah. But there's nothing better about that or worse. I just love what I do, and I love the grind, I guess.
That's something like a buddy of mine always says is, people that if you look at somebody and you say that they're lucky, it's funny how that kind of works. Is I really feel it's more like, or the way my friend says it is, hardworking people get luckier and luckier as time goes on. And it's in a way what he's trying to say is, you put yourself in that position. You're gonna get lucky because the opportunity's there. But if you're working hard, you're determined, and you keep grinding and driving yourself, there's nothing that's gonna be able to stop you, especially with a mindset like that. You know what I mean? So to have that as you, again, I'm sorry I keep doing this, but at such a young age, I absolutely commend you on that 100%, man.
And I know you don't have to apologize because it is that wasn't a thing. I look a little older now. Maybe the stress and stuff from the workout makes me age a little bit more. Maybe a little bit of the beard or whatever you call that's going on. But when I did start, I looked really young. I weighed a lot less too. So a lot of people were like, "Who is this kid showing me this?"
You got a baby face.
Yeah, and but it's the knowledge. That was a huge apprehension. It's like, how do people take you seriously? It's just, but it's they may see me get in my vehicle and I look young, but right as I start talking, as long as you're knowledgeable and you know what you're doing, you can be 80 years old or you can be 18 years old and be successful.
Absolutely. Dude.
So. That was a huge little kicker. It's always funny, and a lot of people, they think I'm in my late 20s, just because like, oh my gosh, I thought you were like 26, 27. I may not look it, but they're just like, I didn't know.
So let's talk about that a little bit. How did you get over that curve or over that hump of having people take that initial look at you and say, oh, this kid has no experience. He can't be more than like 18 years old. How is he going to help me buy the biggest investment of my life?
That is a tough question to answer. I wish I had just something to spit out at you, but the reality of it is when a client meets me, let's say we're going to go show a house, or it's the first time, or it's the 100th time, what they'll notice is that our job is pretty simple. Showing homes and being knowledgeable about it. They may think, oh, I bought 4 or 5 homes. This is a kid. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And I've had a lot of instances where people try to, kind of try to school me on stuff, and not like a mischievous or not like a mean, menacing way. But I'll be like, no, well, this is how it works contractually. Whether we're going over the contracts or the home buying process or these what if situations. Well, what if this happens and this happens, or after we close, having answers and being knowledgeable. I mean, you got a lot of kids out here that are just geniuses running huge businesses. The smallest percentage of people actually would be like, I'm not working with you because of your age. They may kind of go, oh, you're kind of young, but then
they may be apprehensive,
10 minutes later, they're like all in. Like, this dude knows his stuff. He's a hustler. That's the biggest word here. So you're a hustler. You are smart. You know what you're doing. And you can be a professional at any age.
Heck yeah, absolutely, dude.
But you got to know what you're talking about, though.
Right, absolutely. That's a big thing too. I mean, and we always say, you know, knowledge is power, and it's true. You know what I mean? Empowering yourself, that way you can empower your clients as well too.
And I'm just confident in myself and the way I conduct myself and I do my business, that there's no reason for someone to think otherwise. So I haven't had anybody not work with me because of my age, and especially now, I guess that's more from when I first started, but now, you know, people see my track record. If they even question age, it's like, oh, never mind, this guy's pretty good.
Good deal.
But yeah, so it's just being confident in yourself, and knowing what I'm worth. So
absolutely right, man. Absolutely know your worth. What do you have you gotten anything as far as, like, you know, maybe some old classmates and stuff like that maybe come to you, or you bumped into somehow and just say, oh my God, you've changed, or if it's a negative way or a positive way, have you had any type of experience with that?
So I've had a lot of people, first off, actually come buy houses with me that I went to high school with, went to elementary school with. I've had friends' parents work with me, right? So it's always funny when that happens. I actually just closed on a house with the Harrisons, and they saw me when I was born to about 6 years old. They saw me run around in my diapers, and now I'm selling my house this many years later. So, you know, that's really cool. But people who, I have a lot of friends that, you know, they see my success. I don't like that word, but they just see what I'm doing compared to what they're doing, and it hasn't caused any issues. People are just like, man, that's awesome. And it kind of motivates other people to go do their own business or want to get into real estate, and it brings a lot of good conversation.
Good deal.
A lot of people... they think you got to do this, you just got to go to school, or you got to go to a trade school and do this. But I always encourage people to take a risk, you know.
Most definitely.
Bet on yourself, and that's what you're doing. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're not going to make it far in life. So
that's true. That's true. Everything is it could be, you know, a risky risk or a calculated risk.
Yeah.
But either way, you've got to make that risk to be able to have the more risk, the more the more
more risk, more reward.
More
almost,
reward. Yeah. Exactly. Yes, that's exactly right, dude. All right, so let's kind of change shifts a little bit. I want to get into, so, you know, you're a fit guy. You know what I mean? You've always kind of been a fit guy. I've always seen you in the gym. You know what I mean? So, what is, like, your day to day? You know, from obviously when you just said when you first came in, you're a little bit smaller. You know what I mean? So you gained a couple pounds here.
Look like a young man now, right?
So, but now, you know, with having that and plus doing as much work as you do, how do you find the time, or what's your day to day? How do you get all this stuff done within a day? Kind of walk us through a day to day for Jesse Jeffers.
I wish I could say I wake up at 4 a.m., read a book, and do 1,000,000 push-ups and eat kale salad, but no, really. I think the past week I've had my alarm set for 5:45. Actually rolled out of bed around like 6:45, 7, and then, you know, my day just changes. But I try to hit the gym first thing in the morning before my phone starts ringing. 8, 9 o'clock. It's kind of like, I know something's about to be happening. Texts and emails and calls are about to start rolling in. So I try to knock out my my gym time kind of in the mornings, and then from there my daily schedule is different. So, you know, I just plan my days. I try to do like a weekend ahead, but there's a lot of times like this morning, hey, can we see this house at X time? So I'm moving stuff around, but I stay pretty busy. So after 9 o'clock, I should be done with the gym, be showered, dressed, and just go on with my day. If I don't have anything immediately around that time, I'll go to the office, kind of get out of my home office, you know, trying to change my mindset, get to work, make some calls, whatever it is. And I try to wrap up around 6 or 7 during the day. You know, this business can run you, or you can run your business. And when I first started, you know, I let people 10:30 at night give me a call. And I really, with working with a coach, and I'm not saying I'm a doctor or an attorney, but you can't call up your dentist when your tooth hurts and him like stop his root canal and be like, oh, let's get this guy in.
Yeah.
It's a business and it's a practice. So I've been taking that mindset in and saying, you know, after, you know, 8, 9 o'clock, I won't respond to any work texts, any work calls, any work emails. And before I get done with the gym, I try not to answer any phone calls, texts, or emails. And that's hard for some to do because, you know, a lot of people think, you know, you have to be at their, you know,
beck and call.
And really it's going to lead to burnout. And that's kind of what hit me a while back. So here recently, because that's a great question, because I kind of reformed my schedule. I try to go to the gym in the mornings, don't work until I'm done with that. That is my only peace time because, you know, the rest of the day is just everybody's calling you and needing something. So, and I'm running around. And around, you know, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I try to be done with that, with calls, at least communication. I will do paperwork and stuff like that at night sometimes, but I try to cram it into more of a normal schedule because I have to respect myself and my time with my girlfriend, my family. So that is something very important that I value right now. So Man, I had clients text me last night at 11 o'clock. I was watching Netflix, said I can't respond because I have to do this in the morning and first thing, So that's kind of what my daily schedule is. It changes, but usually within that 9 to 6 time frame, 9 to 7.
There you go.
So.
Man, I love the fact that you said, work your business, don't let your business work you. Yeah. That's a big thing that we harp on here as well too. And it's true, man. You have to have some sort of boundary. There's got to be something where you can have to yourself, you know what I mean? Because like you said, you're going to get burned out. This is one of the only career fields that we can take a phone call basically whenever we want, if whether it be 11 p.m. or we're on call 24/7 technically. I mean, but that's kind of how the public views it, you know what I mean? But I'm glad that you've got that set up for yourself as well too, because then that'll just it gives you that longevity in this career field as well too. So
and I think a lot of people miss out on that. That's just something I would tell if there's any other realtors out here listening too. It's and sometimes you'll get a text from me at 9:30 at night, and I try not to, but it's you need to set boundaries with you and your clients and other agents. I had that grind or die mindset, and I was just work, and that's all I did. I was all thinking about. I was stressing out over at night, not doing certain things. I wanted to do this, paperwork item. Banks close at 4 or 5. Tile companies 4 or 5. Banks close on the weekends. It's nothing. You can't show a house at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So it's realize that and have your clients realize that. And all my clients respect that. And I kind of let them know, hey, this is kind of my hours. Helps me work the hardest for you. If I didn't, I'd be a lot worse. As an agent, I'm always just stressed, hair falling out. So, but that was the biggest thing. I'm glad you asked that, because that is something I very value.
Absolutely, man. So. Absolutely. Good deal. All right. So, want to get into a little more of the business side of stuff. You know what I mean? So, as of recently, you've, or correct me if I'm wrong, as of recently, you've kind of been getting into the investment side and also into the building side.
That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about how you kind of, what struck that?
Yeah. So, real estate is very diverse. There's 100 different things you can do to make money or have a career in real estate. And you can buy and sell for your whole life, be a career agent, but you can also have other sources of income come in as well. Investment properties. We don't have a Roth IRA or a 401k set up through, being 1031. So I do have my retirement accounts, started. But also I believe in, real estate. It's what I do. It's what I believe in. I tell clients they should buy in this market, and I am too. I'm about to close another house in about a month. I just closed on my first rental flip, I guess you could say, was about 3 weeks ago. I closed on 4 weeks ago, and I'm probably about to pick up my second one here in about a month. So, I got into that just by seeing opportunities in properties. Had, either it's clients or friends or family want to sell their property, and especially ones that are distressed that need a lot of work. I can still give them top dollar and allow me to come in and have a long-term investment and make it easier for everyone around. And shout out to my client, Arnie Newton. He's one of my investors. He's taught me everything I know when it comes to rehabbing, valuing properties, seeing what's good and what's bad. Because a lot of these properties I may see once in a 5-month process. If it's a pre-foreclosure or short sale, no inspections, really being good, which I always preach, get your inspection, but for these is a little different. And he's really helped me out along the way. So
that's awesome.
And he focuses on pre-foreclosures, people who can't sell their home because they have too much debt and they can't make it back when they sell. That's where we come in. We can save people from foreclosures. So,
absolutely.
So I just actually picked up a property like that, and then I just have another, actually a family friend of ours that's want to sell a property that they need to get out of town. So that's how I'm getting that one.
Good deal, man. So all right, so from the short stuff that we've already been speaking about, I can already tell that. And you're attesting to this, is that it takes a village to do what either what we do or what we want to succeed, or in anything in general. I mean, if you want to be successful in anything, it does take a village. It takes a tribe.
Yeah.
Because you've already spoken about having a coach. You've already spoken about having
like a client mentor, almost.
A mentor, and then on top of that, having a partner as well too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like stuff like that is extremely important, and that's something that I think a lot of people don't actually realize is that. They feel as though all these successful people did it by themselves.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that way. Yes, you have to do it yourself as far as having the drive and the want to, but at the same time, though, you need to be able to have that team or that tribe of people that's going to help you to succeed in what you want to succeed.
Exactly.
And then it almost it has to be a give and take on that point as well, too. And let me know how you feel about this. Is either if you're partnering up or if you're having a mentor or you're having some sort of coach, and being able to bring something to the table, so that other person has some sort of fight in the game or a dog in the game, and they can say that you are an asset to them as much as they are to you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
I agree.
So kind of speaking about that, so you got into like the investment side, and are you getting into the building side now as well?
Yeah, so I am kind of partnering 50-50 on some builds with my builder. Banks only loan you so much money, and we have such a need for properties in the area, and with my expertise with just the market and his expertise with building and having all the connections with the subcontractors, I'm able to kind of come in and provide financing and and my skills as well to get more properties sold and more properties brought on the market for the buyers. We're seeing a lot of out-of-state clients, come in, and again, people say this and that about the market and the rates, but we're still selling new construction like crazy. And so I kind of ventured into that because it's just another way to expand my real estate business and get my hand in a couple different buckets. So more than just the buying and selling. Just spreading myself out into multiple avenues. It leads me to more connections. Knowing more subcontractors on the new construction side that help me with my investments,
expanding your portfolio.
Man. And so it's just all around. I'm just trying to see how much I can get invested in real estate. I got my notary's license, so I can be a licensed notary now. So
nice.
People, anybody, but if I'm not involved with like the contract, I can't notarize my client stuff, but I can notarize your client stuff.
Yeah.
Anything I can do to expand my reach within real estate, I kind of want to be that go-to guy. Oh, I need to build. Oh, I need investment property. I need to sell something. I need to buy something. Oh, I need something notarized, whatever it is. So that's kind of how I got into that. It was just another avenue for me to stick my name and risks, whether it's risking it's a construction loan, and building in this market.
That's awesome, man. I love that you've gotten into that as well too, and you're not stretching yourself thin, but because it's all kind of in your avenue. You know what I mean? They're all in the avenue, but these are all the opportunities that you have in this avenue. So I love that you're kind of reaching out into these different aspects, and then on top of that, just like we just said, to having that tribe is going with that partner as well too.
Exactly.
You guys kind of are 50-50 and kind of need each other for something like that.
Exactly.
And it's just another asset. Have you ever? Have I ever told you about the book called A Tribe of Millionaires?
I have not.
No,
I don't think so.
You have to read this one, man. If you the way that you're already working, this will kind of attest to this, and especially if you keep these type of people around you that have like-minded, I think you're gonna love this book. So
awesome.
Check it out. It's called A Tribe of Millionaires. It's a fictional book, but it's rooted on a specific mindset that is very real.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely amazing. If I don't know if you do Audible or if you do hardbound books, but I do Audible all the time, and listening to it was amazing.
Yeah.
So check it out. I think you would love that. Awesome.
Awesome.
Sorry, I had to put that out
You're
there.
good, and that goes into my daily life. So actually, recently, it kind of bores my girlfriend sometimes too. But I listen I try to just listen to audiobooks when I'm driving or podcasts. So if I can squeeze any more knowledge, and there's some great reads, I've been running through them because I drive a lot, so I can go through a book in like 2 days.
Man, that's what I tell other real estate agents. If you're showing all these houses, I mean, most of the days we're on the road for I don't know what, like a couple hundred miles, even in a day sometimes, because we're going back and forth showing multiple houses and stuff like that. Take that time to educate yourself, invest in yourself, podcasts, audiobooks, whatever it is, you know what I mean? And I think it's funny because when I first started, that's what I was doing. It took a long time before I actually started listening to the radio again, because I was just into podcasts all the time, where I was doing the audiobooks, and it was perfect because it was right in between each showing, when we had multiple showings for one client, but doing those showings, that was kind of where it was me time, and I kind of just got to be able to listen to these audiobooks, and there's a lot of inspirational stuff out there. And there's books that you may not take everything from, but even if you take one thing from the book that you can add to your repertoire and make yourself a better asset to somebody else, why not do that? You know what I mean?
I agree.
Heck yeah. What's one book that maybe you're reading right now that you really, really like?
So I just finished up. So I'm kind of like I got 3 going at once.
Yeah, there you go.
About Dale Carnegie. There are a lot of sales and sales books, just communicating. But one of my favorite books I just finished, it's $1 Million Offers. It's by Alex. Is it Hormozy? He's blown up here recently. He started out from being broke, like negative bank account, high credit card balances, starting up actually a gym business, and then next thing you know, he's running multi-million-dollar companies, with an acquisitions group or something, and he is a great salesman, and it's a great, almost a mindset and sales kind of coaching book in a way. Uses his personal experiences, but that was, I may just reread it, because I already listened to it, but he's a great storyteller, and I've been reading like 6 or 7 books in the past month, so at least finishing some or doing 50-50, listening back and forth, but between 6-7 books this month or within the past month, that was my absolute favorite.
Man,
$1 million
that's awesome.
offers.
I got to check that one out.
99 cents on Audible, so he doesn't try to make any money off those books.
Oh,
so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I'm always down for a new Audible book.
Yeah.
Even though I got to catch up because I've got like 11 credits sitting in my account.
Yeah, that Amazon goes, ding, ding, gosh, I got to buy something, yeah.
I swear, man. All right, so let's kind of shift a little bit now, kind of get into the more personal side of stuff. You know, you kind of, you're one of your passions right now is, of many obviously, but one of your passions right now is flying.
Yeah, so I've been
How did you get into that, dude?
Just wanted to do it, you know. I've always loved flying. Actually wanted to be a pilot, want to go in the Air Force and do that. But then again, life changes happen. I'm obviously not sitting there flying right now, but you know, I am in the Air National Guard. I do a job that involves, you know, aircraft and intelligence and stuff, and it kind of, you know, reignited a little flame for me. I knocked out 45 hours, I think, is what I have of my private pilot's license. I'm just waiting on my check ride. So, and my written test, which is, I'm at the end. I just got to do it. And it's just, I'm literally so busy, I can't sit down through the night and do an hour or two of practice. And that's more of an excuse. I can make it work. Oops. But I just, I love it. And I'll go fly with some buddies and whatnot. And it is just, it's exhilarating. You know?
What's the goal with that? What do you kind of see yourself? Is that going to be more of a personal side, or is it going to be kind of tie into professional?
It's gonna be more of a personal thing, more of a hobby. If I did it for work, I don't think I'd like it as much. So, you know, just for, you know, to be able to get up and fly, it is the coolest thing. Oh, you want to go fly to Heber? You want to go fly to the fly-in restaurants? You know, make it Gulf Shores in a couple hours, whatever it is. You know, maybe, hey, if I get my license, hey, if you buy a house with me, I'll fly you above it. You know, see an aerial view, right? So, it's almost like buying a motorcycle. You know, it's just for personal leisure, I guess. And it has its other uses to it. You know, it could be a job down the road. There's so many avenues. Once you get your private, you can get, you know, different
classes.
Your classes. I guess your like your instrument. You can get your commercial. You can get your twin engine. I don't know them all, but which working on my private pilot's license right now. So
nice.
Yeah, I just like doing it. So I was just hammered it out, and I just need to finish now. So I need some people to keep me accountable on that.
There you go. Have you ever thought? I know you're saying this is more of like, you know, your personal side, but I'm always thinking of how to use it to like make some sort of business as well too. Would you think of using that as maybe going into to be able to go see other possible investments in other states and other places? Yeah. Is that something that you kind of thought of? I mean,
I thought of that, and also like reciprocal states with our license. You know, I think Florida is actually, I know we're not touching really, but it's you can actually, it's pretty easy if you have a license in another state to transfer. It's like I can fly to Florida, go show a house for a weekend, you know, whatever it is, pay for the gas. But you know, that's just kind of in a fantasy land thinking. Right. It is definitely useful if it was, you know, a couple hours away. It's easier for me to fly 20 minutes to Russellville, 30 minutes versus driving, you know, about 2 hours, hour 45.
Yeah.
Costs a little bit more, but hey, if it's for business, it's a write-off. But for the PPL, you can't be paid for flying people, but I think you can pay yourself for personal use. So.
Heck yeah. So what about, I mean, I was even thinking about like if you were to go into some of your own investments in like other states and stuff like that. Is that something you thought about?
Like fly to, you know, find an apartment in Oklahoma, go fly to it. Yeah, that'd be really cool. You know, go see it in person and go check it out. That is definitely a use you could use that for. Yeah.
Heck yeah. I think that'd be awesome.
I just gotta finish first. So yeah.
Man, I know we've covered a lot of stuff today, and I know you're super busy, and I appreciate you being here with us, man. Hanging out with me for a little bit. What's something that I guess I want to kind of finish off and go into, you know, what are some goals? What's something, you know, at what, you're 23 now, 22?
22, yeah.
22, you're 22 now. What are some goals for like the next 10 years? Where do you see yourself kind of going? What's something that you would like to aspire to reach?
Yeah, so wow. So I guess we'll start with my quick short-term goals. You know, I'm gunning to be the top agent for our Cabot office. I did that last year. Currently number one, you know, right now, but I'm hoping to maintain that, get, you know, top agent 2 years in a row. And I'd like to get double diamond for, you know, the board of realtors. That's what, 14 million, I guess. Yep. I was like 12.6 last year. You know, that's kind of my short-term goals. And in August, I'm taking a broker's class. Long-term goals is just going to be, there's no number or monetary, you know, it's kind of a destination. Yeah. Almost financial independence. I want to have plenty of more rental properties or, you know, investment, whether it's commercial rentals, and just like financial independence pretty much. Be able to have, you know, my money working for me. You know, it's always a slow start when you're in the beginning. But I plan on, you know, still being in real estate, would love to get into commercial. That's a big goal of mine, which I do have some, commercial listing coming up this week. And that's a different beast, but, just expanding my reach, doing what I'm doing now, building more, investing more, and expanding my reach within real estate, becoming more into the commercial side alongside the residential. That'd be my long-term goals. But as far as a place or a thing, a brokerage, no, I'm just kind of, my main goals are just, reaching those, I guess.
For sure.
A lot of people, let me back. The reason I say this, a lot of people are like, oh, do you want to open your own brokerage? I'm like, no, because JC Goff, when we first started, he said that his broker told him when he came, when he came to his office, he said, JC, if you ever want to create your own brokerage, take everything you love about here and everything you hate about it, and change the stuff you hate, take the stuff you love, and create the most ideal place.
Heck yeah.
And every time someone asks me this question, it's, they don't expect no. They're like, oh, do you make all this money? Brokerages cost a lot of money, but it's a lot of headache and it's a lot more time. I can't imagine even really being a broker, signing other people's stuff, answering a lot more phone calls with everything I have going on. Mm-hmm. So number one, from a time and money standpoint, that'd be tough. But number two is like, there's not a thing I would really change about Edge. Yeah, it's just there's not really.
Amen.
There's nothing I would take. It's a great place, and the environment, the atmosphere. Maybe we can print in color again. That'd be cool. But that's the only thing I can change of. But those. But yeah, that's usually the biggest question people hint towards is like, oh, your own brokerage. It's like, no, I mean, not at this time. There's nothing that would make me want to switch. So, but it's more personal goals. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. I'm excited to kind of see you get into that commercial side as well, too. And I'm excied to see what else comes out of these investments for you, and just for you to grow and keep getting better and keep getting smarter. And, dude, don't change.
I appreciate it, yeah.
I mean, change by getting better and smarter and stuff like that, but don't change, obviously. And it's without having to be said, but, obviously I just want you to hear from somebody else. Just don't change what you're doing. Keep grinding, keep going, keep wanting to do more. Don't what's the word I'm trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't try to settle is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't get that out there. But dude, I appreciate you being here. We love getting the inside on you as well too. Obviously, we haven't had the opportunity to kind of get a little bit to know Jesse a little bit more. But now that we have, I think it's great. People are gonna see us and they're gonna see that you are a young, hardworking man that has some huge aspirations. And for people to kind of see that from the outside, and I think it's gonna be great. So if you guys want to work with Jesse, look out for him. Obviously give him a call, message him on Facebook, on Instagram, or on the socials, and email him, whatever you need to do. He's the man. If you see him around, he's the guy with the 3-inch seams in his
I got some shorts right now.
He's probably the realtor with the best legs at Edge Realty. I will say that.
I had a client yesterday tell me, like, Jesse, you never wear pants, do you? I said, nope. I said, when it gets cold, I mean, I just tough it there,
Man, but when you got it, flaunt it, you know what I mean? Why not? Jeez, I'd show those ham hocks, you know what I mean?
But, he's breaking barriers. I'm not a suit and tie wearing guy. I'm sorry. I'll dress professional, but it will, hey, we're bringing the contemporary modern way to real estate, My suit doesn't get your offer accepted any more than my shorts do. So, and it doesn't get his house. I just make it your household faster.
Hey, who knows? You know what I mean? Let him stay outside the corner for a little
bit. Top tier marketing, so they see the videos like, man, this guy's good legs about the house. So that's what I hope, but that's my dream.
Heck yeah, man, dude. I appreciate you, buddy.
You having me
Thank you so much for being here, brother. Until next time, we got to have you back on here again.
Yeah, let's do it.
And do a couple more things as well, too. All right?
Sweet, man.
Awesome, guys. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, if you like this video, go ahead and like it, share it with other people as well, too. And if you need more, just let us know. DM us on the socials, and we'll get with you as soon as possible. Until next time, this is Joshua Suarez signing off for Edge Realty Podcast. We will see you guys next time.
Take
care.